latu Ogadwa ndikukula mu Zambia Malo kumlira ndimtendere Kwa onse osakila malo azapeza ufulu Inga susani kauzina Koma kondo evestina yonero Gakale zonse zikati pitamo Tikari One Zambia, one nation, Kwambuye
My Zambia, my identity It is in the ghetto job It is in the ghetto job My Zambia, my identity It is in the ghetto job It is in the ghetto job
Tizibane Tuzibane Tihibane Twishibane Tumanyane Tuyukane Tulibwashane Twishibane
Mulungu watidalisa ndicholinga Izitiri nazo simuzitama ai Tisaziye mbwerere kose Uyu mterere Nimwa chifundo cha mbuye Tikayangana maiko ena Oh, tawi zonse ndichizo Ndindi nkondo Ngakale zonse tizipita mwese Tikali One Zambia Kumaso ambuye My Zambia My identity It is in the ghetto job It is in the ghetto job My Zambia My identity It is in the ghetto job It is in the ghetto job
Tizibane Tuzibane Tihibane Twishibane Tumanyane Tuyukane Tulibwashane Twishibane Tilichisa Tokumaiko ena Isedaliso kwa ena onse Anondi malo atu opumulilapo Tisambe manyazi ndizikola tu My Zambia Yamuka ndikuwala Yafika ntawi yako Mpambo ya mulungu ilipaiwe My Zambia Yamuka ndikuwala Yafika ntawi yako
Hello, 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 wherever you are watching from. This is a special edition, a special comedy show, It's online and it's the first ever GC Comedy Zambia in conjunction with So Online Radio UK brings to you a very, very special edition of comedy. In the next 1-2 hours, it shall be cracking, raining jokes. And of course, this is a special show because of the theme, I Am Zambian. Now, those of you who are Zambian, those of you that are in Zambia, you know that in just
Beba muni sunge amoye pamene muni pasa ndalama nisakachinje kuchenjila bantu bamene baniwona nivutika nikachinja nishinalupyanya. Lord Jesus, bless me to bless many, bless me so I can bless many. Okay, mulungu mani dalisa, every day you keep blessing me. I can't count them one by one. Daba one day back inside. Oh, blessing them, blessing every day. You keep give me what I want every day. I don't know the way to like these days. You keep give me what I want every day. Everything look nice to me. I got a wife and the family. Beautiful family. Hapa machete na nkala yeah. Asote na leka kudanda ula yeah. Baba muni sunge amoye pamene muni pasa ndalama nisakachinje kuchenjila bantu bamene baniwona nivutika nikachinja nishinalupyanya. Lord Jesus, bless me to bless many, bless me so I can bless many. Nikumbukila pamene nezavutika bantu benza liko nezavutika. I can never silent him. My wife Diana, you are true blessing. Never ever will I leave you alone. I tell you la butoni kuni tongi la pone. Oza ya patika zipasa na moni. Penati malagwa tikululu kile koni. Zive, onsa nikupepele nani. Hambuye Yesu wazikuda nisani. I pledge my love for you. Loyalty will always follow. Ni beba muni sunge amoye pamene muni pasa ndalama nisakachinje kuchenjila bantu bamene baniwona nivutika nikachinja nishinalupyanya. Lord Jesus, bless me to bless many, bless me so I can bless many.
Pamene muni pasa ndalama nisakachinje kuchenjila bantu bamene baniwona nivutika nikachinja nishinalupyanya. Lord Jesus, bless me to bless many, bless me so me can bless many.
your bigger lumanda, kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Sinifyelo muzungu, sima vikonda ineva chisungu. Vama how you know how do you do? Nifuna chabekero wapazeti wagudu. Nifuna gero wachingo ni hokunda mira. Nifuna gero wachitonga hokunda mabisi. Nifuna gero wachivemba hokunda buzashira. Nifuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Sinifuna mukazi mu Chinese wakumfumfuna jame wapazeti. Black and beautiful
Nifuna gero wachichera
waziwa vinako.
Nifuna gero wachinsenga
waziwa vinashite.
Nifuna gero wachingoni
waziwa vinangoma. Nifuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda?
Sinifuna gero mwenye sima vikonda ineva chimwenye vozibisa kumenso. Nifuna chabe wapazeti waulemu. Nifuna wachifilia oziwuvala duku. Nifuna wachivemba okunga mwambo. Nifuna wachitumbuka oziwa vina vimbuza. Nifuna wachinyanja oziwa pika terere ndemwe.
Nifuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda? Kuna chabekero wapazeti. Black and beautiful girl, what's your bigger lumanda?
Wapazedi, wapazedi, wapazambia. Nifuna gelo. Wapazedi, wapazedi, wapazambia. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl.
All right, Nifuna Gero Wapazeti. We are Zambian and we are back. So we're gonna start the fun because the show has already begun. And you know, we're not gonna do it like we're starting from a slow pace, and we're gonna do what? We're just gonna jump in on the hottest of Zambia's comedian. Giving you the first comedian of this evening, morning, or whatever time you are watching us, wherever you are. Give it up for the one and only, the amazing, tested, seasoned, one of the best Zambian comedians, Mwanachingwala. Right, Mwanachingwala, over to you.
Camera.
Running.
I am Zambian online comedy show, Vubwi, take 2.
Hi, my name is Mwanachingwala, also fondly known as Celebrity Wabantu, and I would like to say first of all that I'm Zambian, very Zambian. In fact, 2 Zambian that I'm here on behalf of all the Zambians without hair on their heads. I'm representing the board-headed people of Zambia in my capacity as the Board People's Association President, BPAS. So I'll be deliberating to you in that capacity. Now, before I go forward, I think I'd just like to admit, like, it's kind of weird trying to do comedy to people that I can't see. You know, it's tricky because I don't know your reaction. I don't know what you are feeling right now. I don't know how I'm making your day. I don't know whether you're looking at my head or trying to get my jokes. It's kind of weird. It feels more like trying to propose love to someone who's in another room. You know, like you're trying to tell someone I love you. You know, like love, it's more of an eye contact thing. When you tell someone you love them, you want to see how they're reacting on their face. It gives you an idea of whether or not they're buying into your proposal. But right now, this is the same thing that's happening. Also feels like trying to beat a child who's not responding. Imagine you're trying to hammer a child and they're not responding. You don't know whether you're not beating them enough. We have beaten them so much, they're now losing it, they're getting into depression. Like, it's so weird. But either ways, we'll continue. And to make myself feel comfortable, I'll just assume a clap. I'll make myself know when you should clap or not. So I'll join you and create moments where I think I've cracked a joke and you need to clap. Now, obviously you've seen, say, stand-up comedy show, I'm sitting, so this does not qualify to be called a stand-up comedy show. You can call it whatever you want, and I would like to note here that I would really not mind how you're reacting, because I know no one has paid. Like, you're logging in for free. Usually people pay for stand-up comedy show, but this is like a free kind of thing, so I'm not under pressure. And because I'm not under pressure, allow me to start. Ideally, people would have clapped now, so I'm giving you 2-3 seconds to clap in your homes, wherever you are. Yeah. Thank you for those that actually really clapped. Now we continue with our set. Now, I am Zambian. Here's why I think I'm Zambian. Number one, I know I'm Zambian because we do not have a superhero in Zambia. That just sums it all. The mere fact that we don't have a Zambian superhero just qualifies the fact that I'm in Zambia, and I confirm that. What do I mean? I just tend to think a Zambian superhero could bring out all the Zambianness that we have in ourselves. Let's imagine, like, I want you to get with me in thought. Okay, let's move together in thought. Number one, I personally think if we had a Zambian superhero, number one, he would have time management issues. Like, imagine calling a superhero to come and save you. And first of all, they have to do makeup. They have to, you know, do all those things. By the time they are coming, the villain would have eaten you up completely. There would have been nothing left. I swear down, I think that's how a Zambian superhero would work. Number two, I think a Zambian superhero would have pressure. Okay? You know, we live lives full of pressure, especially now that we're a betting nation. I'm sure everyone here or there bets one way or the other. I shudder to think how a superhero who lost a bet the previous night can behave when you call them for a superhero still. Like, imagine calling a superhero, Mr. Superhero, I'm being attacked here in Chawama, can you come? And now you're talking to a superhero who lost a bet. I would just leave it to your thought to imagine how the superhero would respond to something like that. Going forward, I'm also thinking our superheroes would be confused because the current situation in Zambia is a bit political. This is the time to do all that. Yeah, great. Now we move on. How can a Zambian superhero act? Like, let's go regional, let's go place by place. First in my mind, I'm thinking, imagine a Ngoni superhero. And you know superheroes, like those of you who used to watch cartoons like Popeye used to eat peanuts, then become strong. So what would be the mojo for a Zambian superhero? So a Ngoni superhero, obviously, they'll need to do Fuakayachi Ngoni. For those who can't understand, I know there's international people here. Fuakayachi Ngoni is like cigarette, but is more advanced than cigarette. There's more cigarette in that cigarette. I do not want to put him on the spot by saying it's dagger. I will not say it's dagger because I'm live on. How can I say that Fuakayachi Ngoni is weed? People will think I'm putting and selling because I will not tell you that Fuakayachi Ngoni is weed. But I'm thinking a Ngoni superhero would first of all need to smoke weed before going to save someone. So I'm thinking this is how a scenario would go. Superhero, we have a villain. We have a villain here. Okay, now where Bebeko Fuakayachi Ngoni, hammers Fuakayachi Ngoni, and he'll be there. And there's a way a Ngoni superhero is going to move towards the scene. You know what I mean? Mazolida superhero si you are where. Mazolida superhero si you are where. Super. It'll be nice. Like have that grand entry moving in to be a very good scenario. Now, moving on. How can a Lozi superhero act per se? I'm Tonga, and so my Lozi people are my cousins. I'm thinking, obviously, the superpower for a Lozi superhero is going to be Hopani. So chances are very high that when you call a Lozi superhero, he's going to ask for 15 minutes to fry Hopani, eat Hopani, and what would intrigue the whole thing is the sound bite, which the superhero, because my Lozi people, in as much as they can't dance, they have their own rhythm, and I'm sure a Lozi superhero will be gliding to a crime scene with the superhero, like it will be amazing, it will be great. Now we move further. How can a Tonga superhero handle this? Because I'm thinking a Tonga superhero, obviously superpower will be sour milk. Okay, now that would be very tricky because imagine you call someone and say there's a villain and that person only has fresh milk. So what that means is he'll need to wait for 2 days for the milk to become sour, for him to have power and come to your side. Because I mean, it's their mojo, so they'll have to wait that long. And what would be interesting equally is how they move towards the crime scene. You know what I mean? Hello, no superhero. Twapenga wono uli villain. There's a villain here, for those who don't understand. There's a villain, come. He'll be there.
Yeah, it is really a Zambian show. Now, just a few days ago, we were busy laughing with my friends. No, how can our neighbors in Malawi travel all the way to the UK for a virtual event? Where I come from, they say, you see, our friends are clever, you know. The network problems they have in Malawi, I'm sorry to say, even here in Zambia, we are having the same problems. So thank you very much, Bush, for coming to the rescue. And I know the next thing that you're going to see is Zesco, power cut. And then the show will end because the host will be cut off because of power. So this is a clear sign that I am Zambian and I'm actually hosting this show from Zambia. Now, I know even if the network is bad, you people should not be jealous. Just tell me I look, you know, Nimpopoka, thanks to debt swap. And before we bring on the next act on stage, you people, a long time ago, I used to think I have a very big problem. But after the cadet swap, you know, I'm one of the civil servants who benefited. No sooner had the cadet swap reflected, I noticed that the problem is not me. The problem is money. Because I checked my account balance, Kujana, no deduction, no loan deduction. And you know, at that moment, would it be a feeling? For me, what I did that day, I was like, before these people change their mind and deduct, let me rush, go to the bank and withdraw the money. That's how I quickly started preparing. Fried to my eggs, Karep and Inshima, you know, the bachelors know how that cameo, you know. So I don't know whether it's because that feeling where you know you have a lot of money that you didn't expect. The moment I started eating Inshima with it to my fried eggs, suddenly my eggs were tasting like impwa, you see. So the eggs were bitter all of a sudden. And this is the same eggs that I eat every day. Tried the nicely prepared repu as if I'm chewing a papers. I'm like, man, why? You know, suddenly my hunger became specific. You see, I just wanted nice things like pizza, very specific hunger. You see, I didn't want to chew anything because of the cadet swap, you know. I just wanted the Panarotis pizza. And you know, when you have money, I don't know whether it's just me or every other Zambian. The times when I'm walking at the mall and I have a lot of money in my pocket, like I feel like I can just walk towards someone and just slap them. The moment they start complaining, I say, you, easy much one. Just enter my pocket. Chifai vizare much one. Pirako chifai vizare chi. Ugureko na panado. For you know, it makes me misbehave. When I don't have money, I'm a very, very good person. Without money, I can afford to walk from home to town and back. I can even go to the mall and come back just walking. But the moment money touches me, Chitabia, you know, I just feel like I can do a lot of things. And now, my fellow civil servants, let's utilize this cadet swap. We don't know how long it's going to last. So my advice to you, especially my fellow teachers, guys, you see, let's use this to gaswag, you know, to gaswag. You know, this past June, we saw our tires. Teachers, why? Especially the male teachers. You know, you can, you know, use the cadet swap before the children return on 16th August. You buy a nice sweater, a nice coat, even a jacket like mine. No, but don't kill yourself to try and match this. This is another level. But I'm just saying, it's not me, teacher. Jews, you know those Jews. But when you wash, even the collar, the juice has been washed to an extent where the neck looks as if it's running away from the collar like that. And I don't know who sells those Vima bomba. You know, they are bombers. They are bombers that are very, you know, like they're like balloons. Some of you have seen them. Bomba. So they have cushions inside like that. So when the teacher is walking, you know, when the teacher is walking and he's trying to write on the board, like the teacher wants to fly, like the teacher wants to fly. Pasaka and Bomba, this is debt swap. Let us utilize it. Let us not traumatize people with our dressing. Now, before I was cut off, I was saying this is a very special event because in a few days' time we are voting. It doesn't matter who is going to win. It doesn't matter who you want to win. But remember, as Zambians, there are so many stories that we can share that bring us together. We have a lot of good things that bring us together than the few things that try to divide us. At this moment, I want to know if you are ready for our next act, the next performer. Please, you have to bear with us. We are in Zambia. So network, yeah, you have to be very, very patient with us, and we are trying all we can to host a show. And I'm sure from today, people want to be blaming the neighbors who flew out for a virtual event. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I'll call upon the next act. Over to the next act, ladies and gentlemen.
Camera.
Running.
I am Zambian online comedy show, Vubwi Take 2. Action.
Kuno nako ngwamalweza timozakira grades nkusake sinawadena chiukule because grades waleta kuno kuti tibwere chatishulireko apa visilireko nipongala apa oro mbuchimaka chifukwane nika kan kukwela point iyo point anzize ungatiki waizi you look like vomiters kwanza chikuzi wakuruka msituation wako chipurukutu. No, I went for a comedy show. You go back home, you are injured. Mbonje chape njeya mbirongena padlo. Njeshi odini kuno. Mbonje. The power of inflammation. First thing nkaramusha chape. Mumu wane Yesu.
Hello? Hello? Yeah?
To be careful in all ways. Move as the wise and not as the unwise. But that one day when she slaps me, I knew it's time for me to evacuate. Then Mama Papa Makadawa Quinangu, they started coming to our house. Mama so that we don't see them coming. My mother is tired of that. I'm inviting criminals to our house. So she said to Vubwi, what do? There was some gas that wanted to escape the 2 mountains behind me. I was making sure the gates of heaven are closed. There was some gas that wanted to escape the 2 mountains behind me. So I was making sure the gates are tightly closed. But what's about cheap? Why is it? You go pass my gas anyhow. I'm not making noise.
The song, the music. My life amazing every single day. And when I'm weak, you come through and you make a way. But I know you kavuta vintu, muza panga plan, muza sorting, I see you. Cause you're always by my side. Every time I try to sing your praise, I close my eyes and all that I can say is higher. You take me higher. Dino da Kujiva. You take me higher, higher, higher. Sana, je ne parle pas le français, but I want to say be the best version of yourself. No matter what you go through, keep your head held high, be yourself, boo. God is always with you, keep your head held high, be yourself, boo. Every time I try to sing your praise, I close my eyes and all that I can say is higher. You take me higher. Dino da Kujiva. You take me higher, higher, higher. I wanna be the definition of black excellence. Once a penny pit, I wanna leave that radiance. Cause your love is evidence. You're the greatest of all time. Yeah. I said I wanna be the definition of black excellence. Once a penny pit, I wanna leave that radiance. Cause your love is evidence. You're the greatest of all time. Yeah. Every time I try to sing your praise, I close my eyes and all that I can say is higher. You take me higher. Dino da Kujiva. You take me higher, higher, higher. kupila hande ndende kupila hande kupila hande ndende kupila hande ndende kupila hande ndende. Mixed teaser on the beat, Lasana with a drip. Yeah.
Mixed teaser.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, like I said, I think as a host, I have to keep on apologizing. I wish I called my friends to come and do their sets here, because where they are, you know, these guys are shooting from somewhere quite George in the area. So if you can, if you are trying to watch, it's giving us a bit of struggle. So we are trying to relocate, you know. We want to move our friends, Tenechero, Vubwi, Baema, and Chibwe. We want them also to travel at least to a place like where I am here in Salama for this virtual event. So now it's apparent that these problems are very African, you know, even for online events. Now we have noticed that it's very possible to travel to a place where it is catching. Now, as we are trying to shift that team, which is in Kwajonj, we'll try others, because we have people like King Paul who are in Mufurira. You can imagine. Now, I can imagine if people in Lusaka, close to where the president lives, if people in Lusaka are struggling with network, nobody. What will happen to someone who is Mulunsonga kumufurira King Paul? So, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I want us to try and see what is happening Kukopala on the other side of Zambia as we try to relocate the Lusaka crew. Then after that, of course, we'll cross over to Chipata, where Bush is currently hiding. So let's see what happens. Let's cross over to Mufulira, where King Paul is coming live from. Over to you, Mufulira. Over to you, Kopala, King Paul. Over to you.
A 32-year-old Homo sapien, chocolate in complexion. I have 2 sweet dimples around my waist posteriorly, just superior to my 2 gluteus majors. I am a proud Zambian, and I come from a town called Mufulira, a town flowing with milk and honey. I need to specify this type of milk that I'm talking about. It is called milk bush, aka Euphorbia tirucali, or aka Ulunsonga. Let me tell you, in this city, you cannot move an inch without seeing Ulunsonga. Honestly speaking, that is why it is called a place of abundance. And I am a proud member of Mufulira. Now let me tell you, as an African child growing from Mufulira, I learned something about our parents. Zambian parents, let me just say, typical African parents. African parents, typical. They have certain characteristics. Wherever you go in Africa, you will find them. Now, I just want to share with you 2 characteristics of a typical African parent. Number 1, I need to mention before I start them that an African parent, in Africa, we don't have dad. We don't have mommy. We only have father and mother. Now, I want you to know that there is a huge difference between father and dad. In Africa, we have father. An African father, number one characteristic, mustache. Every typical African father has a mustache like Antonio Rombato from No One But You. Number two, by the way, this mustache that I'm talking about is not just mere mustache. It's mustache. When you sleep and you know you did something wrong in your sleep, you dream about the mustache approaching you. Number two, an African father can never be defeated in any way. And you cannot lie to your African father. You cannot challenge him. That is it about African fathers. I remember one day, I went to a friend of mine called George. We were playing, what game is this? We are playing a game called Mortal Kombat. George was a white kid. So we are playing and George put the volume at maximum. And you know when you are playing Mortal Kombat, a lot of noise here and there. So, you know the way they shout in Mortal Kombat, but when someone wins, Kalusha Buadia wins. Kalusha Buadia in Mortal Kombat. Anyway, whichever the case, Michael Jackson wins. So, the father comes out, because it was making a lot of noise. The father comes out and says, you know white people, hey George, can you kindly reduce the volume? I'm kindly asking. Before the father finished, George stood up. I hate this. No, man. How can you tell me this? I'm going to show you. Hey. The position where I was standing, I began to shake. My sphincter muscles became loose. Imisuba kamba. Shambo kuifumina chwa. I was so afraid. I never knew what was going to be next. I only saw the father to George begin to apologize. Oh, my son, I'm sorry, George. Sorry, George. Please don't sue me. The father did what? He went back. I looked at George. I said, George, please, I can't stay here. What did you just do? And your father, what did he do? George said, I told my father I will sue him, and that's why he's afraid. So whenever you tell any father that I'll sue you, your father will be afraid. Hey! I said I will try it to my father. My brothers and sisters coming from Africa, I went home. And I went with a certain walk, majestic walk. I reached home. I saw my father. And the first thing my father did, you see these African parents, this is one thing you should also know. When I saw my father, African parents love to clear their throat before they speak. So I see my father. He sees me walking just a majestic walk. I never insulted him. He just sees me walking majestic. I say, Paul, Ngefiolenda. So now I remember what George did. George said, I hate this. I also said I'll try it to my father so that I scare him. He said, Paul, I said, I hate this. What did George say next? He said, I will sue you. So I said, I hate this. Dad, I will, before I finish it. Hey, my brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. An African parent slap has the ability to clear all the iniquities of the son. For about 5 minutes, my dear brothers and sisters, it was quiet under the surface of the earth. Very quiet. And the only thing I could hear was a sound of a ring. A ringing bell. My eyes were closed. Then I opened them. When I opened my eyes, only to find myself floating in the air near the roof. When I looked down, I saw my father with his mustache like Antonio Rombato looking at me. Hey, my brothers and sisters, let me tell you, don't play with an African parent. You see, I came to realize that, okay, it's not just Africa with African parents with problems, even African children. You know, there's this thing that has come in Zambia, generally Africa. I don't understand it. This thing of just capturing anything and posting on Facebook. You are going along the street, you find 2 chickens, 1 cock jumping on the hen so that they reproduce. You capture, you post on Facebook. Chickens of nowadays. You find dogs in the act, you capture, you post. Promiscuous and prostituting dogs. Why? You are just, and you see, in Africa, this is one thing we do. I don't know. I find myself doing it, but I don't know why. You find a dog opening bars. A dog is defecating. You capture. You post. But on top of capturing, you even do one useless thing we do in Africa, where you find a dog defecating and you lock a dog. Africa, you lock the digestive system of a dog by doing. A dog will not defecate in Africa. Even when you find dogs in the act, they want to reproduce. You find dogs, you do. By doing that, you are looking. An African child has the ability to cause what we call copulatory tie. You tie dogs. Why? I just imagine what is happening in our country now. If, you know, we were a long time. I respect people from the Bible. Too much wisdom. I imagine if a Zambian had an opportunity to be in a belly of the fish like Jonah, how they will post on Facebook. Vakamba ngatwale monama post. Muriamu ine muchisabi mukati. Akopa. Na ikataliva ya chisabi. Chilling with the fish's liver. Muriamu ine muchisabi bakalamba. Akopa na donsa matumbo yesa. Interacting with the longitudinal intestines of a shark and fish. We would have been seeing that. But Jonah, very, very, very respectful. Anyway, I've spoken so much about Zambian people and all that. But I should mention right now that currently our economy is not doing so well. Our economy, I don't know why. But I never realized how bad our economy is until MTN Zambia actually forced me to get credit. I was forced by MTN to get credit. How? Let me tell you. I wanted to call a friend. So I got my phone. I never knew that I had no credit. So I dialed the number and I call. And what do I hear? You have insufficient credit to make this call. If you want to buy airtime, press 1. If you do not want to buy airtime, press 2. I did not want to buy airtime because I had no money. So I pressed 2. What do I hear? If you want to borrow, press 1. If you do not want to borrow, press 2. I pressed 2. I didn't want to borrow. What do I hear? If you are afraid of borrowing because of your wife, press 1. If you don't want to borrow just because you don't want to borrow, press 2. I pressed 2. I didn't just want to borrow. So I'm still waiting and it was silent. After some minutes, I hear something like this. My brother, what is the problem? Let's discuss. Why don't you want to borrow? I was just quiet there. It continued. If you are a child of God, press 1. If you are a child of the devil and you are responsible for the death of the Zambian national soccer team that perished in Gabon, press 2. Hey, for the first time, I press 1. If you are a child of God, borrow. If you are not a child of God and you are responsible for the death of the Zambian national soccer team that perished in Gabon, do not borrow. Hey, for the first time, I press 1. If you are a child of God, press 1 to borrow 100 kwacha. If you are a son of the devil, press 2 to borrow 5 kwacha. My brothers and sisters, I press 1 for the second time and I borrowed 100 kwacha. You see, I realize the economy is not doing well. For MTN to probe me like that to borrow, hey, we don't know where we are going. But anyway, I'm a proud Zambian. You should know that. Very proud.
Well, the town of Ulunsonga, after all, they're not very bad. At least we had a bit of a slow feed, but well done to King Paul, all the way from Mufurira, the town of Ulunsonga. Now, talking about African parents, I was seated here thinking of my own mother and how I've not forgiven her up to this time. The beatings that woman used to give, you know, for things that you find even when you're just wee-wee on your own bed, in your own boxers, using your own utensils, you'll be beaten for just wee-wee. There's one time I was beaten simply for eating at my friend's place. You can imagine, just eating, what do you have yonsima? And it's not like I even took some home to say, let's share, man. I ate because I was hungry. Dad, yeah. And you know, when they invite you, you are playing with your friend and you are hungry, you can't say no. I ate that day. The moment my mother realized that I ate, Commander Abantu. Why were these parents like that? And yet you find that the funny thing is that when your friend visits and then food is served and then you want to eat alone, again you'll be slapped to say, share the little you have. But if it's you eating, you'll be beaten. Again, if your friend comes and you share the food, if you don't share the food, again you are beaten. So I don't know how our parents really wanted us to become. And one other thing that really touched me is the issue of the possible today's Jonah. Imagining Jonah inside the fish taking selfies. But from Jonah's story, for me, my hero is Jonah's wife. You know, I keep thinking of that situation nowadays. Jonah disappeared from home 3 days and 3 nights. He comes back. Very tired, Jonah, so very wet. The wife asks, Paushi Juju, where have you been? Insui, swallowing you, a fish. And Jonah's wife was very cool with that. I mean, allowed the husband to prepare the meal. Now, wives of today, your phone just being off for 3 hours. You can receive these ones, the big ones. So thank you very much to the Kopara dude. And you know, I know we are one Zambia, one nation, but I have to mention one thing. We are very different people. When you go to Southern Province, I mean, with our deep voices, this is the way we live our lives. You go to Western Province, the Lozis, they have their own interaction. But I love the Kopala people, where King Paul hails from. You know, the Kopala guys have this kind of aggression, you know. You know, they are aggressive for nothing, so, like just aggression, even when they are greeting you. Like they just have, they have this. I remember I had a friend, one is a mole, way back at campus, you know. He saw this beautiful girl walking on campus, and then he goes, boy, so he follows the lady and then asks her, Mami, Marikwata boyfriend. So the lady was like, oh, okay, Mwakwata no. Who does that? They have this, you know, in other places. If you go to Southern Province, Even musicians, the way they do their music, Mpande will come and say, Ndalitaga taji na kwilimba no band. Easy. Go to Copper Belt. Call a Copper guy on stage, right? Just to come and sing a song. You will find the moment they just get on stage, just what ya kandolo or nicha. Now, do what you are here for. Pick door. Oh, that warm up. You want to sing picky door. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, let's try the other part of Zambia, that is Eastern Province in Chipata, where Bush is transmitting live from. Let's see how the network is over that side. So, yeah, I hope you're ready for the one and only Bush. Over to you, Chipata.
My way, nazuzika, my way, nazuzika, nalila usiku onse, my way.
mukamposeshe bankumbula bakapwepwe bamwana wa sande puluka bamambilima webashelepo twikalabako amasiwi yakwatata kaunda atile mwikatane bana bandi wikapato mutundu
Intunguru shishingi twalufya kusanso buntu winga twalusha chikonko cha twikata twalosha chimshinso cha kwalesa twalosha weawe tupele closure pela peace mind mbwele sober pelo kutusha bobaya chimbo cha malilo ndino bulanda
Maiwe, nasuzika. Maiwe, nasuzika. Radila usikuse, maiwe. Radila usikuse, maiwe. Mwana wa dada, mwana wa dada, mwana wa dada.
All right. I'm told there's no signal in Chipata. So the only thing that we have to do, obviously, there's something that is bushes that we can actually play after a few minutes. It's crazy like that. Like I keep on reminding you guys, the next time you hear people have traveled, the next time, in fact, So Online Radio and the UK Zambian family, you are seeing exactly our problems. We don't want people to start probing us when we say we want to travel to the UK for this comedy show. You've seen what is happening. We are trying our best, at least here where I am. There's a bit of network, but my friends are really stuck, and we are trying our best to bring them back on stage. So next time, we shall request, we'll ask nicely, we want to have an online comedy show with the UK people, so allow us to travel. So when we ask, at least people know. So to those of you that are watching us from the diaspora, please let us know. You comment, say, you guys, we are enjoying the show, though the network is tripping, but I mean, you are enjoying. So just keep commenting. And by diaspora, I mean places like the UK, USA, not all Kenny Dumbo. You go to Malawi, then like King Paul saying the way he likes selfies, chilling in the diaspora. Kenny Dumbo, Malawi is not diaspora. It's not diaspora. You can't go from Zambia, you go to Malawi at Ndarigo diaspora. You move from Livingstone to Zimbabwe at I was abroad. How? Womundia. Are you sure? So for people who are in Malawi, all we can say is, if you are a Zambian, you're watching from Malawi, you are outside the country. You are not abroad, you are not in the diaspora, you are just outside the country. He just went to visit there. Same even in Zimbabwe. We don't expect people that are watching us from Zimbabwe. No, I'm in the diaspora. So we need you throughout. We need you to keep commenting and just make sure you stay with us. Like, trust me, like I told you, the other team that is actually broadcasting live from Lusaka is a bit stuck. And for me, I'm lucky today, just today, Because even when I was traveling from my village to come here for the show, people tried to criticize me and to condemn me. Say, no, do you really have to go to Lusaka? Because if I had said, okay, let me host this show from the comfort of my village, you would have seen today. Because there in my village, for you to catch just a glimpse of the network, you have to elevate yourself. So you have to scavenge. You have to look for anti-hills and trees to climb for you to catch network. That's how bad it is. And so when people outside Zambia are blaming us for the travels we make just to watch, just to attend virtual shows, they don't understand. Come and see our problems. Because in my village, I may be successful, like I catch network in Jai, it has a coat. Network. But the entropy in the background, because I can be seated like this, I'm hosting, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I Am Zambian. You just see a Chicago passes palm. I Am Zambian. God's in the, like, it's crazy where we are. Like, it's really crazy. And today hasn't been easy for us. But anyway, we keep pushing. And I'm told Bush is almost getting the connection right now. So if Bush is not connected, we'll probably look for something, a message probably that he may have that we can play, because we really want everyone to be on board. Otherwise, like I said, keep commenting. Tell us where you're watching us from. It's a free show, so you can invite as many people as possible. Tag them, call them, let them see what we are trying to do, so that, as we go to vote on 12th August, we all know that we are one Zambia, one nation, and we share so many stories. So let the richness of our culture keep us together. So over to Chipata section, or maybe we request the UK team, please. So Online Radio people, yeah, please intervene at this moment. Let's see if we can cross over.
Hey, everyone, wherever you're watching us from, the UK, Zambia, people are from, let me see, Uganda. Everyone is in the house, As introduced, my name is Bush, but my girlfriend calls me Boo Boo Boo. Yeah, I know, when I tell people, they get excited. Oh my goodness, she calls you Boo Boo Boo. That's so romantic. It's so nice. Wow, it is not romantic or nice. My girlfriend actually stammers. Yeah, she stammers. We've had our ups and downs. I love her. She's an amazing woman. But I should say, dating someone who stammers can be very disturbing at sometimes. I've almost had some heart attacks. I've almost had a heart attack because one time she was coming from school. She's in the university. She just came out. She was excited. She was like, boo boo boo. Oh my goodness, you won't believe this. My mathematics teacher took me to his house. That guy can factorize equations. I was like, hey, you're going to kill me one day. But it's amazing. It's amazing. The show is called I Am Zambian. Yes, we are Zambian. Whether you're in the UK, wherever you are, we are Zambian. We are Zambian. I know because some of you are in the UK, things are now starting to change, I've watched some movies from the UK. I've watched some movies from the Western worlds, There's love there. Love is amazing, When you see two people want to kiss, it's like, I don't know, it's every kiss in the Western world starts with poetry, Marjorie, I was wondering if, it would be beautiful for my lips to be able to interlock with your lips. I think the spark would be amazing. And that is how people ask for kissing in Zambia. It is still the same, but every kiss starts with the statement, it is Adiakoli Timiromo. It is very tough here. It is very tough, you know. I see you in the Western world, in the UK. Things are so amazing. Even just the way you relate with the children there, you know. Some of you are losing your Zambian touch, you know. Because I've watched some movies from, you know, the Western world where you guys are. When a child just, you know, the child is playing and then the child falls down, boom. You show the child care, you know, you go there, you talk to the child, things that the child should not even know. When the child falls down, you rush to them. Oh my goodness, Junior, are you all right? Oh my goodness, we're going to take you to the gynecologist. He's going to look at you. We're going to have what? We have health insurance. Have you hurt yourself? Is your tendon okay? Is your what? All those things that you say. But in Zambia, it is still the same way you left it. When you fall down, you just go boom, 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 boom. Just finds everyone looks away and the mother gives one instruction. Osamiyagana Zalida. And for you there, you are fallen. You're now looking for everyone. You're looking for sympathy. You're like, Mommy. No, go away. Brother's like, Osamiyagana Zalida. Everyone goes on and they do their own stuff, you know. But it's amazing. It's amazing. We love to be Zambian. I would love to state here that I actually grew up in a very poor home, a very poor family where food was a rumor. You know those Zambian things? I know now you're in the UK, but here we grew up and food is a rumor. You know? Those things where you just come from playing. But why is what is happening, you know? Food was a rumor in my house, but I love Zambian mothers. And I think it should be the same with some of you who grew up here. A Zambian mother, no matter how poor a home is, the little food that you have, she will make sure it's only her children who will eat, you know? There in the UK where you are and everywhere else, even in the rich suburbs of Zambia here, when people are going to eat, the mother will just come and announce, John, we're going to be having some pizza and some something to drink. Do you think your friends would love to join us? Not here. Here our mothers are very technical. My mother, if she is calling us to go and eat, we are the only ones who know we are going to eat. Because she will use coded language. My mother will just come, breakfast. Bushi. We go there. Our friends are like, not knowing. Lunchtime is the same. Lunchtime, my mother will just come and say, Bushi. You go there, you go and eat. Your friends are like, why are they talking about the sun? This is an astronomical family and stuff like that. Supper was the most dangerous. Supper, they just call, the last born just comes and says, Bushi. Oh, Nizanu izo. And you know, it is time to eat, you know. But yeah, we're growing out of it, you know. Recently, I got some money. As you can see, the background here is on green screen. This is actually my house. I got some bit of money. But I have, you know, a bit of advice. When you come with your children from the UK and you're coming back to Zambia, please make sure if they were in private schools, maintain them in private schools. Don't bring them to a government school. Government school, the treatments are different, and also private school, yeah, it's quite different. Recently, I got some money, as I have said. Then I changed my nephew Masuku from a government school where we used to stay in Chawama, and now we took him to a private school. I am telling you, this boy has suffered that we have also suffered. The very first thing that happens, this was the first weekend that kept, they told us, oh my goodness, they wrote us a letter, the school wrote us a letter, and they said, dear parents and stuff like that. We're like, oh my goodness, oh yeah, that's my friend out there, that's a motherfucker, but that's not Masuku, you know. So we took Masuku to like a private school, and we're like, oh yeah, they wrote us a letter, and they were saying, oh my goodness, dear parents, you know, dear sir, stroke madam. We're like, a school is writing to us, and they're calling us dear sir, stroke madam. In a government school, the only thing is if they write you a letter, they will say dear guardian. They don't care if you are female or male, they will just categorize you as a guardian, you know. But they wrote us a letter, they said, dear sir, stroke madam, we're going to have what we call a movie day at school. Well, like a movie day. I know some of you are also surprised. Yes, they had a movie day and went there. You know, the first person came, you know, one of the teachers, you know, speaking very articulate. And they were like, dear parents, madams and sirs, we're going to have a movie day today. Every child will come and will sing a song from their favorite movie, a theme song. I'm like, that's not much thing. Africa. Children who come from like good families, they were coming. Even just from their names, you tell this is coming from a proper family. Good morning, dear parents. My name is Chloe, and I'm going to be singing to you the theme song for The Lion King. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Please, those who went to private schools and you're watching this, you can sing along with me. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. You know, it went well there. Those who went to government schools, your party is also coming. Come, let's sing. Yeah, it went well, and everyone came. Children were singing. Oh, I'm singing from, I'm singing SpongeBob. Hey, SpongeBob, you live in a pineapple. What? They sang all the songs. It was now time for my nephew. Someone came and introduced him, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new student. He is Masuku. Masuku is going to give us a theme song from his favorite movie. They called Masuku. This is how they called Masuku. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Masuku. This is how my nephew came. Masuku ran away. We could hear them, to talk to Masuku, and they were like, Masuku, please just go out there and sing any song from any movie. Any movie. That'll be, yeah, please just go out there and sing any song from any movie. Okay. Any song. I was like, yeah, Masuku, any song. Any movie. Okay, yeah, please, any movie. Okay. Okay. Magai. Let's go dismiss Masuku. They said never bring this child again. They chased him, and they chased our entire family. But I'm loving it. If you come back to Zambia, we are still Zambian, and we're still keeping up with our roots. One of the things that I admire, in the Western world and maybe the UK where you are, is the fact that there's a way you treat food. Food, even when you're cooking, you cook from a recipe book. You're supposed to put 1 inch of what, you're supposed to put a tablespoon of this. For us, when we are cooking, it is our ancestors who are talking to us. You're just adding salt. There's supposed to be salt in food. You're adding salt, you just be putting, no need to measure. Until your ancestor just whispers to you, said, my son, that is enough salt. You put, that is enough water. Like that. I love that you cook from like recipe books. Every family will have a recipe book, Even when you offer someone something to eat, you'll be like, how was the food? They'll be able to explain, I think I could feel the green pepper in the food there. It was quite alright. The garlic was also put in very well. But I think next time maybe the black pepper was not so pronounced, And they're talking about food. Here you give someone food and you ask them, how was the food? Those are the things that we worry about. And stuff like that, There's one particular food that I admire. It doesn't come from the UK exactly originally, but it comes, I think, from Mexico. And these are tacos. Tacos. I am sure even in the UK there you have some tacos and you're eating. I imagine, I was like, why would someone just initiate and they start, making like tacos in Zambia? Same recipe, same everything, but the drama would be now how would be, talking about it. Imagine your mother sending you to buy tacos. Like, Mulenga, enda ukaguleko matako ya tatu. Yako tewako, yako na yanga imozi. You go there, you go and buy, you bring tacos. Vamuna va. Ndiye tumatako twebanga tipase tumono so. I think tizali kugula matako ya Johnny. Tizambo kugula ko matako maybe kuli ba James. Ndaba James matako yawo olo waigwira tabetako. Ungadie ko tako wasirako musako. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have fun. The show is still going on. Thank you very much for your audience. I remain Bush. See ya.
Yeah. Thank you, George Bush, all the way from Chipata. We are glad that you've just reminded us of the stories that bring us together as Zambians, you know. Talking about food, food being a rumor in some homes. A lot of memories started running in my mind. I remember in the village, food was a rumor. But on top of it being a rumor, it required a lot of patience to eat that food. Because in my village, like, we used to be a lot of people. So there are only 2 eating places, the ladies and the gents. And for the gents, maybe you are 8 of you. And eating was sequential, not this kind of eating. These children of nowadays, you go to Panarotis, you can pick any piece, any chicken piece that you want. For us, all the chicken pieces at home were titled. They had the titles. There were pieces which were only eaten by our father. There were pieces that were only eaten by our mother. And there were pieces for, like, everyone had. You can't eat. These days I look, I go to the mall, I find the children, the entire thigh, a 2-year-old baby playing around with a chicken thigh. I'm like, what? So these days, when I go to buy pizza, you know, when I go to buy pizza, most of, okay, when I go to buy pizza, usually I tag people, I post, and people are like, no, when you're eating food, you're not supposed to be posting what, you eat too much junk food, you have diabetes, leave me. I'm trying to catch up. I'm eating in arrears. Guys, we suffered. This pizza, Kumuria pizza, I had to wait until I started working and getting my own money to eat yogurt, to eat pizza. So when you see me, Gupa pizza and my T-bone, I am catching up. I'm eating in arrears. So Bush has put it clear. It used to be rough for some of us. Because when you are eating, like I said, you'd be 8 of you. And maybe you are the 7th in terms of age. There was hierarchy when eating. Because you only have 2 plates. Big dish for shima and big dish for radish. There's chicken there and soup. Before all the elders, those above you in terms of age, before they pick a piece, you don't dare pick a piece. And now it used to be so annoying because you had to be patient. You are hungry. Maybe you missed lunch, like Bush was saying. You just come back, you hear, so then you wait patiently for supper because you missed lunch. And now when that supper comes, your patience is tested even more. So you start eating. So the oldest will pick a piece. And the next in line until you reach number 7. Now, these people are not picking at the moment. This one picks. There was a lot of time interval. And there are no side plates. So when you pick this, your hand is your side plate. You pick a piece and put it here. By the time it gets to the last one in line, you find that you've even lost appetite completely. But we thank God these days we can afford Panarotis pizza. We can eat. So I'm to leg. Don't be saying no junk food. Some of us from childhood, to just say magwaza, mundiori, we never used to eat fat food. So my body, as you can see, my body has a lot of space for fat. Let me enjoy. Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself. We have to enjoy. And one other thing that I loved from Bush's presentation is a story about his girlfriend, you know. These girls who like speaking English. You know, I have a niece personally. Her name is Mianda. I don't know why it's always like that. Why she was sent to go Singapore for 2 months. Hi, Singapore, for some exchange thingy. She went to go Singapore for 2 months. The chap comes back in my village with an American accent. Hey, Mianda, go Singapore. You come back with, hey, I wanna go and that. You start mawana with me. Ha! This. Okay, it's not like we don't know how to speak English, like I said last time. You know, we just respect it. English is not something that you come in the village, you start speaking anyhow. It has the times. Personally, I only use it when it's serious business, and the last time I was so much into serious business is when I found this girl from Mayadi, you know, she was speaking English, and I could cope, like I can manage to hold the conversation. But the only thing that I try to avoid in all conversations that are in English is arguments. It's not easy. It's not easy to argue in English. Hey, most men especially know this. Arguing with Natasha in English. And I envy those guys who manage to argue and make their point in English, and they're upset in English. Like the girlfriend, no, I'm sorry, David. I told him not to call me. I told my ex not to be calling. I don't know why he was calling me. And the guy will be there. You shouldn't have done that. I've been telling you. You don't entertain your ex. These are destroyers, man. They are destroyers. This is not good. For me, got patience. The moment an argument starts in English, I remember one time my girlfriend who liked English. No, I told you, I just said I was sick. You know, and the moment you just say who's sick, there's no argument. There's no argument after Hussein. So I'm really trying to see if we can get any signal from our Lusaka dudes. We haven't heard from Emma and Chibwe Katebe. So back to the studio, guys. Do we have any signal from the Lusaka guys? We are really itching. We want to hear from them. Bush just gave us an awesome run. Please, let's cross over to our friends in Lusaka. Let's hear their stories. You know, we are interacting and making sure we build our rapport as Zambians. In a few days' time, like I said, the emphasis, the title, the theme of the show is I Am Zambian. Before anything, we are Zambians. So, no matter the pressure, whether you are voting for or you are voting for, you are all Zambians. And so we need to just take a chill and relax, vote and wait for the winner to be announced. Otherwise, we are all Zambians. So still waiting for a signal from the other team and a signal from the studios from Emma and Chibwe.
Am Zambian online comedy show, Chibwe Take 2.
I greet you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I also bless you in the name of the great country, Zambia. My name is Chibwe Katebe, formerly pastor, but was kicked out of church because, I was an assistant pastor, and then something happened which was a little bit heartbreaking. I'll tell you about it later on, but first, shall we begin by opening in a word of prayer? I know I'm opening at the midway through the show. I should have opened at the beginning, but because I couldn't get here early, transport issues in Zambia. Catching a bus is a nightmare. That's a story for another day. Shall we pray? Our Father, we thank you. Shiriri mweshukuru tuweza kucheni chenu ufewa fuka ngemba ya lidiamani. Shukuru tuweza kucheni chenu waba ipeta ngenda ya mchifunga leeshiru. Shukuru na kutoa mieo isha salanga na ngameno yeshiru mwezi wesa mula tukwesha. Father, we thank you, even as we are just coming from a period of national mourning, we have just put to rest our first Republican President, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. First head of state. Because he was the only guy with the biggest head at independence, so he automatically got a position. Father, as I'm still praying, I just want to say amen. Thank you. Welcome to this live telecast, straight from our specially arranged place. And we just want to thank God that we managed to find internet connection. It's quite challenging here to find internet. You really have to bribe a few people in positions of authority, and you have to belong to the right party for you to get a good internet. And it's not easy because one company is green and the other one is red and yellow, and yellow, and they represent the two big parties around. So I've been wondering, so which scratch do I buy? But that doesn't matter. We are here and we're finally here.
Kapare inolanga ndigapare ala taji na mpirimba nova ndigapare ona kapare inolanga ndigapare inyomi wanyomene na ebolanga ndigapare kapare olanga ndigapare ay nova ndigapare ona kapare yebo Prince Jam Mkwai, ori ya ili badala wimba Mkwai, West Love, that shit Ayebo najira tugira Prince Sammy on the beat Cherere, cherere, mugajinga Cherere, cherere Cherere, cherere, mugajinga Cherere, cherere Cherere, cherere, mugajinga Cherere, cherere Utandira gasimbi gaserera mungaro Utandira gasimbi gaserera mungaro
gasimbi gaserera mu mugaro. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Utandira gasimbi gaserera mu mugaro. Simbi gaserera mu mugaro. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Utandira gasimbi gaserera mu mugaro. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Utandira gasimbi gaserera mu mugaro. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Cherere cherere mugajinga cherere cherere. Utandira gasimbi gaserera mu mugaro.
Yeah, the Chami boy, Prince Chami on the beats.
Westlaw Production.
Hey, arimo tugira.
Father Zambia, things will be better. Do you know the trouble that mothers go through? You blame Zambia. It is because we call our mother Zambia. That's a story for another day. I'm here to talk about serious issues. So wherever you are, if you think God does not love you, He loves you. Whatever you are going through, God is with you. Amen, church. Don't think, no, me, God doesn't care. He has a scripture for you. If you have big eyes, read Isaiah. If you have a big mouth, read Matthew or Philip, because your lips are full. Those with big ears, God has provided jobs for you. Work for DSTV. Your ears are big dishes. Amen, church. So don't worry. Like I said earlier on, I'm an assistant pastor who's not going to church. Simply because as I stand and... Sorry, I'm seated. As I'm seated right now, I'm a Christian who is of no fixed abode religiously because I was kicked out of church. You know, my senior pastor the other week said, made a
Anyway, this this you were not supposed to see. It's just that at times, you know, as Zambians, you know, when I'm eating well, I'm taking juice and pizza. It's very difficult for some people to believe, and that's why most of the times we post. Because the way I've bought pizza for me in my village is an achievement. So even when I walk by these days, when I visit Iwajero, because I hardly go there, they'll just say, but Diomba Panarotis. You see, but Diomba Pizza. So if anyone in your family travels, like some of you are in the UK, Scotland, US, the moment you travel, the place where you are going becomes your surname. No. So that's why you find that we are always under pressure trying to impress. When I go to eat T-bone, I need to post so that you people can see that I've eaten. We shouldn't be arguing a lot. And I suppose that's the reason why most of the people that go abroad, no matter how many days they stay there, they always want to come back with a different accent. So that you believe I mean, if you can't believe from the pictures you say it's the Photoshop, they at least have an accent. You can tell that, okay, this one was abroad. So like you have seen, like the Lusaka situation is really getting tricky, and we're running out of patience. But anyway, this is a show being hosted in Zambia. Of course, there are people that are watching us from all over. There are a lot of stories that have been shared, and there's one particular story that really touches me that I want to just share with you. As observed, our bus conductors have a certain level of, they don't keep secrets. On several occasions, I've confided in these bus conductors at my own risk. Because these guys, I don't know. Now Am Zambian. From Charleston to town, those days, I remember one time it was about 5 kwacha from Charleston to town. So I want to use a bus, and if you have less than 5 kwacha, you don't just jump on the bus without talking to the conductor. Ni risking you. So I called the guy by the side before jumping onto the bus. Mwachwandi, nilikona fili. The guy was like, the embarrassment I went through that day. No, I sat and I was there just minding my business. Now, they kept on picking people, and the bus was getting full. Picking people. Now, the only target, your guess is as good as mine. The only target was the person who has not paid the full 5 kwacha. So, remember a certain woman came, she was carrying a child. So, the only remaining space was closed. You know those improvised seats that they put just at the door. Me, I was comfortably seated somewhere behind. Then that was the only remaining space there. So everyone was looking at how she was going to sit there with the child. In my heart, I'm just like, and then the conductor just said, "Wakamba bafiri, wakamba bafiri, burani munkaria." I'm like, "Kitata gaga. Can't you just say wakamba chipemba munkarapa? Do you have to say wakamba bafiri kwasa?" What if there was my crush on the bus? I remember one very terrible painful journey from Lusaka to Livingston. At that time, I was already a celebrity. In Zambia, what happens, for those that don't know how we celebrities are treated, you see, I can be walking on my own. People who know me will be chatting, "Hey, but Yomba, I want a selfie." So you know that thing. So that time I was actually emceeing an event in Lusaka. It was a Saturday. Then following morning, Sunday, went to the station. I was a celebrity, but I wasn't driving then. I wasn't driving yet. So I went straight to my favorite bus, FM bus travelers, 9 hours. And I was told, 9:30, Yambap. And those guys usually keep time. So I was minding my business. Then I sat. There was a lady next to me. GC. I'm like, oh, yeah. It's you. I was at the event you were emceeing. I'm like, oh, yeah. Thank you. You did a good job. I'm like, yeah, I always do. I mean, I'm the best wedding MC in Zambia. So, but I didn't say that. It was just in my mind, in my heart. Yeah. So we sat. Then 10 minutes before departure, you see how conductors behave. 10 minutes before departure, my stomach started communicating. And my stomach is very tricky. I can be fine at home. The moment I decide to travel, it starts misbehaving. And I remember I had one instance. So I became concerned because I was like, That time when I had a running stomach on the bus, I wasn't a celebrity. So I didn't mind who sees me. But this time, there's everything. There's a lot at stake. So my stomach started communicating, and we only had 10 minutes before we start off. So I'm like, what do I do here? Can I quickly go? So I jumped off. Then the chief conductor, as usual, bakamba mwenda kuti tiamba hapa ndio nikule kwa chemanzi machowanda hapa nikule kwa cheto manzi hapa. Okay, bakamba in the sun. Rushed. And I don't know why the devil is like that. So even when you are driving, those of you who drive, you find that on days where you are relaxed, you're not going anywhere, there is no traffic on the road. But on that day when you have an emergency, you can even hit a goat. A goat can be crossing greatest from nowhere. There's a congestion. So that day, I only had 10 minutes to, rushed, entered to my toilet for intercity. Fully booked all the toilets. I'm like, God, why? And now I stood, but as people started entering, I'm like, now I'm a celebrity again. I have a name to protect. So I said, let me just pretend as if, because how will it look when people see that celebrity waiting in a queue waiting to enter? I just turned and started washing my hands at the sink. But I had one eye at the door, so that no sooner had so I had one eye on the sink, another one on the toilet door to make sure my stomach was really, really communicating. At that moment, if there was a chance that we can share a pot with someone who was already inside, trust me, I wouldn't mind. I'm sure some of you who have had a running stomach before, you understand how diarrhea can humble you. Whether you are in a suit or what, at that moment, if they had said you can share, I would have entered. So I was there washing my hands strategically and minding also that I'm a celebrity. I was minding, I'm a celebrity. Please. So I just noticed the door opened, like I couldn't even wait for the guy to we just crossed each other. And that is not even okay. In the Zambian homes, you know what happens when someone is using the toilet. What do? When they come out, you give about 5 minutes, to allow the confusion to settle. But for me that day, I didn't even want to think about that. I just entered, and the moment I entered, you know what I found. If you have used the Zambian public toilet, you know what I found. But I didn't even. I was straight, focused my point. Rushed back, sat. We started off. Sorted. Now, if you've been in that situation before, you don't just sit anyhow. You have to sit at an angle. Ndagai andaura angle no bantu. I looked for an angle. Lusaka. Kafiwe no bantu. Kuchu. Now, at that time, Kafiwe Mazabuka Road, I said, oh, God. Because my condition, the stomach condition, does not allow for unnecessary movement. I was at a position where every part of my body. Now, I had to bear in mind that I'm a celebrity, and there are people that watch me in the same bus. And it's like a small bus. FM is about 22 seats. That's like this. Mazabuka, people were dropping. Simuseru Kamdara. I was just like. From Mazabuka, Monze, we had 10 minutes stop. And then at that point, I was feeling a little bit okay. So I just dropped to get a ginger drink. I took a sip. My Zambian story. I'll never forget that day. It's not easy to be a celebrity and use public transport. Fellow celebrities, please, I want you to listen and learn from my story. Ndakanywaga ginger. Monze and Sekese, a very short distance. The moment the bus just started, I don't know why the devil is like this. My stomach started. I'm like, oh my God. The bus had stopped. I didn't go anywhere. Now, how will I stop this bus? And my stomach is vigorous, you see. So when it starts, I know that things are going bad. So I was just like, they have to stop. Whatever the case, they have to stop. So I looked at the conductor. I was like, immediate bus. immediate bus. And the conductor, very inconsiderate, Zambian conductors. Nichan Makama, I wanted to vomit to stop the bus, man. That's how now the driver had to go to consent. Slowly, packed by the side. So I quickly came out because now I have made another blunder. I have told the people that I want to vomit. So where you packed now, it's in the bush, but it's an open ground. So now I'm like, I go a kilometer to a bush when the people know that I'm vomiting. So I just strategically nailed to try to do like I'm about to vomit. Nothing was coming out. So the conductor came outside. So I said, let me just confide in the conductor because it's a case is just nearby. So I told the conductor, I think up in Mumara. So next station, I forgot. I've told people who don't keep secrets. Entered the bus. So the driver asked to say, Mwachand, wakwanisa. I didn't even know what to say. This boy embarrassed in front of my face. Instead of just saying, Chizaya Sako Pasogoro, the guy just said, Nimumara Wakamba. It's like, Wafuna Seven's a toilet. I'm like, what do I? I'm a celebrity. You have to say that. Now, the moment we got to Chisekese, you know, now we stopped and everyone knew, at least I was free, everyone knew that at the so I rushed. There's like a filling station just next by the road there. I found the Chifio attendant. Him upon singing because I'm a celebrity there. I was like, this is not the right time for that. The celebrity fan stories will come later. Where is the toilet? Where is the toilet? That the boy pointed. I rushed, I entered. Oh my God. Those of you who've had diarrhea before, you know the feeling. You know the relief I had at that moment. I was breathing so hard and I took my time, knowing so well that everyone in the bus is waiting for me. So I was busy counting, busy pressing. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, after 7 minutes, as usual, conductor. In Africa, we don't do that, man. You don't knock. In my language, you call it Inganda party. It's the biggest, like it's the most respected room. How dare you knock? He was busy. I was quiet, minding my business. Then he shouted, Bakamba, tifuna kuyamba po munga chancing ibwera kumbuyo tikusi. And I'm like, ayo manayo. I'm coming, man. Hold on. So he went. I was furious. I'm like, who does that? So I knew I had to hurry because that was a time bus. I had no time. I sat, celebrity though I was, humbled. I didn't care the state of that. You know, public toilets. I didn't care. I didn't see anything. I pushed. So I was done. I was done. So I was like, I just turned around to get the tissue. Suddenly, no tissue, no one to Jesus. Jesus, what kind of temptation is this for the celebrity? No tissue. Zambian public toilets. I said, devil, you are a liar. I looked at my socks in Adidas socks. I remembered how we used to survive in the village where there was no tissue. I entered my pocket. There was 100 kwacha. I'm like, devil, you are still a liar. Meanwhile, people are waiting. I looked at my hand. Which hand? Which hand do I? Is it the left hand that? Is it the right hand? Good. Then why? Why today? I'm a celebrity. So I just
entered my pocket. Wow! Yeah. It was only my wallet. I opened it. I saw my ATM. No one to lo and behold, I found the receipts from Zanak. Those receipts that come out when you are punching and withdrawing money in the comba, fellow men, do not throw away these receipts that come out a machine. These receipts saved my life as a celebrity number 2. I got them on that week, so on that week I put them together so that they are thin. Then I made sure they are thick in that week, and that week damn. So now we flash and you go. No water. Do no want to why? At this time again, no want to. How come no water? No water. And already when I was using the receipts, there was an accident on one of my fingers, so I can't live without water. Why? No want. Why? Anyway, I'll end here. You people don't want to know what happened. You people don't really want to know what happened. At this moment, allow me to just cross over back to the studio. Allow me to cross over back to the studio and see if we have progress from our friends in Lusaka. So Online Radio. Anything in studio? Do we have any latest from Lusaka? Do you have any latest?
Apati chefeko Ngoma tipakise Kusama kumanda tizatungana
Chetanyeko
Ikapikatana Nokukunyana
Tusambe kuminwe Ishita mwevantu
Together we can, together we will.
Fight Corona.
Let's not panic, together we'll win. Atwi kusamba kumaza jinjijamse. You and I together we'll overcome and win.
Support no hand sanitizer. Kuibon febwine tube wise. Practice physical distancing. Will I hugging and ishkashim? Amaboko sanfe regularly. Malule tade shibi kwepwadi. Yalipa bantu edges. Avoid them crowded places.
Together we will. Fight Corona. Let's not panic. Together we'll win. Amor wakona. You and I together will overcome and win.
If you think you have symptoms of the coronavirus disease or have questions on it, call the helpline on 909. To avoid getting infected and giving the virus to others, wash your hands regularly with soap and water properly. Let's stop handshakes for now. Find other ways to greet. If you have a cough, please cough into a flexed elbow. Yes, you can get infected, whether Zambian, African or not. Whether Matauni or Kumunzi, Mumayadi or Mukomboni, you can get infected whether young or old. No one is invincible. We all need to take care.
You and I together.
I stand with Eva.
I stand with Eva.
Do you know that in Zambia, young people serving their mother's sentences are the most vulnerable?
The Eva Chavala Foundation is an initiative that was formed in 2012 in Zambia. It's aimed to look after disadvantaged and vulnerable children that the legal system has left behind.
prison reform.
I stand with Eva because every child deserves a full chance to maximize their potential, irrespective of the mistakes their parents have made. I stand with Eva because we will not forget the children of the incarcerated and what impact this has on their lives.
Studies have shown that children whose mothers are sent to prison are more likely than their peers to have future problems. These include criminal offending, mental health problems, and drug and alcohol addictions.
Collaboration and unity are the way forward. I stand with the Eva Chabala Foundation.
So Online Radio stands with Eva.
There is power in collaboration. So Online Radio stands with Eva Chabala Foundation Trust.
We at So Online Radio stand with Eva.
All right, thank you very much, studio. But then, I don't know how many times I'm going to apologize. Like, okay, even you guys have seen, we've tried, but then the network, it's telling, I don't know now, but again, I don't know whether we should accept and then just tell our friends to say, network in Zambia is as bad as the one in Malawi. Maybe we just have to accept, because we've tried to tell our Zambian stories. So we like my team, like I said, the people that are streaming live from Lusaka, there's Mwanachingwala, Vubwi, Chibwe, and Vaema, and all those. We are trying to make sure but it's like, it's bad for everyone in that location because they are in the same location. So nothing really is coming up. So I think at this moment, I'll request So Online Radio to play our cover song, so that after that we can establish if we can continue or probably would have to prematurely end. But then, my fellow Zambians, whether you're in the diaspora or you are abroad, because we've categorized diaspora, we know the countries that are called diaspora. Those that are abroad, we know, and those who are just outside the country, those who travel to Malawi, Botswana, Zimbabwe, those of you are outside the country. It is an honest reminder. 12th August. Let's keep it Zambian. You know, we all have, especially men, for instance, okay, women or ladies, I want you to just close your ears. For men, we know very well that we have a lot of things in common as Zambians. And we have one unifying factor, the Zambian dream. I don't know if all the men here know what the Zambian dream is. Yeah, the Zambian dream. Each time you want to fight a friend that supports the other party, remember that we all have one dream, the Zambian dream. That one dream that we all had when we were children is a very funny Zambian dream. I don't think that dream happens with children abroad or diaspora. So those who are in the diaspora, please confirm with us if your children have this famous Zambian dream. The dream the Zambian boys go through, all the Zambian boys, you see? That dream where, you know, you are dreaming, you are playing with your friends, the men already know where I'm going. You are playing football with your friends, the guys know what I'm talking about. You are playing football, then you excuse yourself, say, guys, let me go. No, but we don't use English when playing football. We don't play football in English here in Zambia. We play in local English. Guys, nabuela ni tundeko. The moment you just start, cash is not a dream. You are dreaming alive. So if you went through that dream, it means you are Zambian. And because you are Zambian, 12th August, keep it clean. vote for your candidate, go home and wait for the winner to be announced. There are a lot of things that really, really bring us together from our childhood, our upbringing, how our parents used to treat us, you know, when they're beating you, you can't cry. Again, you are supposed to cry. It's a two-way thing. If your father is beating you, for instance, my father was very aggressive. Like, if he calls you in English, you know that is trouble. He hardly called us in English. So when he calls you, say, come here, you know there's trouble. So we okay guys, fellow Zambians, you know what I'm talking about. We are one. We are one. We share a lot of stories together. The struggles of food. Some of us, me and my mother was staying Ukwajero. Then from Ukwajero to go Muzoga is about 5 kilometers. I was told, I was not there, but I was told by people who were there that when she was going to give birth to me, you know what Jikochi is? 5 kilometers on a Jikochi. I don't know what Jikochi is in English. Those that know, please help us. Jikochi. Nowadays, people don't understand. You know, Roma, UTH, but some of us, our backgrounds are very, very rich. So your mother is in labor, and the cows that brought you on that coach, they are waiting. Nothing like admission. What you have to go back, because tomorrow morning your mother has to be Gumunda. Otherwise, you won't eat. So we have a lot of stories that we share in common. I remember the first time I ever wore a shoe, batata fist. How? And you know, when you are growing up, you know, Mauru. So some of you here can relate the Zambian story. 7 years, 8 years, you've never worn a shoe. So your toys are like this. So like a ducks. That pressure of forcing yourself in a shoe. It's been rough. We share a lot of things in common. Walking long distances, not having access, even just I remember I documented the first time I was given a boxer. Bamba. We used to call them Mama Bamba. I was going to boarding, and that was the time I was going to boarding in grade 8. That's when I had my first boxer. All along, it was paying out, and it was a struggle. And I had one very, very painful incident. I know men can relate. If you are Zambian, like me, you relate. I wore a trousers which had zip, and I had no underwear. That's why I said, Mugua, these people are very sharp. The reason why they said there should be underwear. That's the time I noticed that underwear is very important. You know that mazip, they are very funny. And once it has pinched, it can't move in any direction. In that direction, the pain will be there. You try to retract, just like that. So it's crazy like that. And I know most of you relate to these stories where your parents would not even allow you to watch TV. You find that after 19 hours news, your mother even takes a TV set, goes and parks it in the bedroom. These days, the TV is just on the wall. Children can do whatever they want. Children can sit on the sofa as you can't. All those things. There are a lot of Zambian stories that bring us together. And today, we decided to bring to you this light moment entitled, I Am Zambian. Just to remind you that even if we have different political inclination, there is one thing that brings us together, and that is one Zambia,
one nation. At this moment, I'll cross over to the studio and see what is happening, and then I'll just come back to say. So let's find out, studio, do we have any latest from the studio? Any good news for us? Over to you, studio.
Kulijindi ijwine lita utinyiga ihe antome
Oh, aturashwa lukupani tuso kufawa pilo kimpoe tonight
Atungohi ukala yonsebo kulindela umbi ayogwashe
Chole bon sabana mulu porwa mfumu chachine na jute mwane Sanga sangula amawe umkate chachine na tuafane Ukavutika wewe kulipi
Well, I think that sums it all. We are the world. We are one Zambia, one nation. And of course, I was supposed to be disappointed because of how the network treated us today, because 4 of our performers were unable to actually complete their sets today. But maybe that's part of the Zambian story. So on behalf of my friends who were unable to connect today, I want to apologize to our neighbors in Malawi, because we laughed at them when there was a rumor that people have traveled for a virtual something. So we're like, no. And I said, no, the network is not okay. And we were laughing, no network. Now it has happened. Chiripamu nove, Maironipaliwe. So we have learned our lesson. Be rest assured, part 2 of this show is coming. And this time around, please, fellow Zambians, you like judging people on Facebook. No, banaenda ku UK, kuyendera ka online, abashana ma guys batakuwa abafikwa rafati chisho chiri online video baleya bena bachikonka ku UK. So nga twaranda travel kuchikonka chisho ku UK. Not to mwena mwai. So I'll be in touch with the UK Zambian family. Thank you very much for staying so close to us, being tuned in even through our toughest times. For me, I'm actually shocked, because anytime power can cut here, and I have to conclude fast before you just hear pa, and then we are done like that, and the Zambian story is completed. So I want to say thank you to Mwanachingwala, thank you to Chibwe Katebe, thank you to Emma, thank you Vubwi, thank you King Paul, thank you Bush, for accepting to be a part of this story. And I really thank you, because your failure to connect to the show has really proved that nothing is easy in Zambia. In Zambia, everything you need connections. So next time we will do, we'll make sure we have enough connections so that we can actually have a beautiful show. I want to say thank you to So Online Radio from the UK for really doing a good job out there, coming in when we have hiccups, for anchoring this show. We are so humbled, and I know you may also want to have the second show, because this one kind of didn't go as planned. We really thank you. And to all those Zambians living in the UK, Scotland, and everywhere else, we really thank you for the support, and we appreciate the fact that you still think of us back home. We do miss you. We want you to be coming here. And some of us, when we were growing up, the only time that we loved was school holidays. In my village, Wajero, that is the only time we could see good, because during school holidays, our aunties from Kitwe and Dola would come and visit, and we knew that at least bread, we are going to see it. At sugar and all those things. So when you visit from Mankland, we are happy. Carry a few things. We are happy to see you and things like that. So at this moment, I've confirmed from studio that the guys from the other part of Lusaka have really been hit with a network, and we can't really get through to them. So allow me, by virtue of the authority entrusted in me as the host for this show, thank you to all of you that have tried to watch us through these hiccups. We promise you, next time, we shall bounce back with a bang. That's what Zambians do. They keep on fighting and fighting and fighting. Remember, 12th August, vote, go home, sit, and wait. No violence. Thank you very much. Over to you, studio.
The sun set before we were done sharing exciting and memorable experiences. Smiles are hidden, handshakes forbidden, lives forever changed. However, we can always look to the coming of a new day. Zambia, known for her own special brand of hospitality, and home to one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, the undefeated, mighty Victoria Falls. We look forward to explore adventures untold with you, the unexploited beauty of our diverse culture, heritage and wildlife. But we are compelled to say, not today. Tomorrow, a new day will dawn with fresh and new hopes. Tomorrow, we can reunite and explore Zambia again. For now, stay home, travel later.
This is where the lion kills and the mighty eagle soars. Zambia.
Are we ready?
Yeah, Ronnie.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Zambian national anthem. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for their right. We've won freedom's fight. Oh, one strong and free. Praise be to God. Praise be, praise be. Bless our great nation, Zambia, Zambia. Free men we stand under the flag. Oh,